First, an emergency declaration in King County over the coronavirus. Good evening, I'm Steve Rabel.
I'm Monique Mingalava. Now, take a look at your screen right now. These are the latest numbers from Washington health officials. There are a total of 18 cases confirmed in western Washington, 14 in King County, and 5 of those people have died. There are 4 cases in Snohomish County. 1 person died there, bringing the total of deadly cases to 6.
We have team coverage of the surge in cases, beginning with KIRO 7's Allison Grandy. She is live at the epicenter of all this in Kirkland. Allison?
Steve, some relatives of patients here at Life Care Center of Kirkland found out about the coronavirus outbreak on the news. So relatives, desperate to see for themselves, came here and went inside to see exactly what's happening.
They're scared in there, the ones that are with it.
We talked to Colleen Mallory minutes after she visited her mother at Life Care Center of Kirkland.
They wouldn't tell me anything about a roommate who has been removed from the facility. And my mom's been in the room with her for all this time.
She's worried her mom was exposed to coronavirus. The health department says there are about 50 possible cases at the skilled nursing facility, patients and workers. 4 people who received care there died from the virus. We watched 3 aid cars respond today. Paramedics wore protective masks, glasses, and smocks. 1 man was wheeled away. While there are no visitor signs outside, Mallory was determined to check on her mom.
Just a mask, hand sanitizer, and that was it.
Teddy Tyler is worried about his mother, too.
I thought they had fully tested her and we were in the clear for that, so at this point they haven't tested her.
His mom has stomach cancer and spent 3 weeks at Life Care Center of Kirkland. Last week she came down with what he thought was a cold or the flu, so she was taken to Evergreen Hospital. Now she's in hospice in isolation.
Well, I just feel they're covering it up at this point. I just feel there's something going on that they don't want to admit that she's got the virus, and we've had a lot of people in the room with her.
Now he thinks it's too late.
I feel that I should have done more. I thought they were doing everything to make sure she was safe.
Now, we got a statement this afternoon from Life Care Center of Kirkland. They say they're following all of the protocols from the CDC. Those green signs there, those are the no visitor signs, but I can tell you at least 1 visitor went inside. We talked to her. When guests go inside, they have to register, sign their name. We talked to a relative of another visitor who can't understand why all of the visitors haven't been contacted and warned that maybe they should self-quarantine. Something else we're looking into tonight. Live in Kirkland, Allison Grandy, KIRO 7 News.
It's something we should always remember, that there are victims and there are families in this story. King County is taking an aggressive approach to the virus. KIRO 7's Graham Johnson is live on Harbor Island with how health officials are responding. Graham?
Steve, King County is actually buying a motel and bringing in modular housing units. You can see some of them on the other side of this fence here, wedged between the silos of this old flour mill. These were once used by Texas oil field workers, and they were bought by King County to house the homeless. They'll soon be used for as many as 100 coronavirus patients. This afternoon, we saw King County workers power washing 14 modular housing units stored by the old Fisher Flour Mill on Harbor Island. We also got this peek inside, where coronavirus patients will be housed.
We have moved to a new stage in the fight to contain, mitigate, and manage this outbreak.
King County Executive Dow Constantine signed an emergency declaration and said officials are now figuring out where to put modular buildings. 6 of the same type of modulars are already being used in SoDo as transitional housing for people who are homeless. Constantine says the county is also planning to buy a motel to house people with COVID-19.
We have not yet completed the transaction, but my real estate people tell me that it is all but done, and we should have it available for patients by the end of this week.
Today, public health officials repeated their advice for avoiding the virus.
More hand washing, less face touching.
Dr. Jeff Duchin of Public Health Seattle and King County said he expects the number of COVID-19 cases to grow in the coming days and weeks.
The risk for all of us of becoming infected will be increasing. And although most of the cases will be mild or moderate, the infection can cause serious illness, and there's a potential for many people to become ill at the same time.
We don't yet know which motel King County is working to buy, and we don't yet know where these modulars will go. The county is working to figure that out. Today we found out health officials will soon be able to do more testing for COVID-19. We're putting those details together for our coverage at 6 o'clock. Live for now on Harbor Island, Graham Johnson, KIRO 7 News.
And school officials scrambling to deal with the growing coronavirus outbreak are closing schools. 7 were closed for deep cleaning today. Tomorrow, the North Shore School District is closing all of its schools. That is for training. And KIRO 7's Deborah Horn is live right now in Bothell. And the North Shore closures are not directly related to the coronavirus, Deborah.
Monique, the superintendent here in North Shore says that what she wants to do is to take a time out to consider what they will do if this outbreak gets worse. But she did close this elementary school after a staff member got so sick she is being tested for the coronavirus. Parent.
I'm a parent not just of a student at Frank Love, but I have 2 high schoolers at Bothell High School.
The decision to close her children's schools is affecting Carrie Hopperstad directly. What do you think about what the school district is doing?
I actually really appreciate what they're doing. I think that it's better to be safe than sorry.
North Shore school officials say a staff member at Frank Love Elementary who had traveled out of the country got so ill her doctor recommended she be tested for the coronavirus. So the school took action. Why did you decide to close the school? People get sick all the time.
That's correct. However, the coronavirus is a different type of sickness, and she was in the school all week last week. So we want to make sure that that things are safe before we have kids come back at this point.
And she is not alone. Superintendents in 4 other school districts, Mukilteo and Everett in the North Sound, Renton and Kent in the South Sound, closed schools today because of possible exposure to the coronavirus. North Shore will close all of its schools tomorrow so they can plan for the possibility that students will someday have to be taught remotely.
Tomorrow is about pausing in our normal practice and routine and making space to plan and prepare should that become a possibility.
So tomorrow, all 33 schools here in the North Shore School District will be closed for the day, but they and all of the districts we've been talking to are telling us this is a dynamic situation. It's fluid, it's changing day by day, hour by hour in some cases. So if you need to know whether your school is going to be open, you should check with your individual school district. They tell us they will let anybody who needs to know as well. Reporting live in Bothell, Deborah Horn, KIRO 7 News.
Doctors stress that people most at risk are older with underlying health conditions. The most vulnerable are the elderly, as well as people with cardiovascular disease, diabetes, chronic respiratory illness, and cancer. And while we're reporting on the most serious cases, doctors tell us that many people who have the virus might not even know it. They say 80% of people who get the virus will only have mild symptoms that feel like a cold. Doctors say to keep in mind that the mortality rate is 1.5 to 2%, and they think it's lower than that once more people get tested. If you have symptoms, though, it is important to get tested right away.
Well, Governor Jay Inslee is giving Washington state workers permission to stay home to prevent the spread of the virus. KIRO 7's Essex Porter is live now in Olympia, where the governor took questions about whether our state is ready for more cases. Essex?
And the first thing on the governor's mind when he spoke with reporters here at the Capitol were the many who are sick and the 6 people who have died.
Any loss to any family is a tragedy, but obviously, given the nature of this crisis, we feel it profoundly across the state of Washington and nationally, I believe, as well.
As the coronavirus continues to infect more here in Washington state, the focus is on both healing the sick and keeping the virus from spreading.
For anyone who's feeling under the weather today or in the upcoming days, but you went to work anyway, I have a message. You got to go home and take care of yourself and try not to put others at risk.
Inslee noted he kept himself out of the office last Wednesday because he had a cough. When it comes to large crowds like this weekend Sounders game, the governor has the authority to cancel events, but is moving cautiously.
We think folks should begin to think about avoiding large events and assemblies. And we are not making a request formally right now for events to be canceled, but people should be prepared for that possibility.
Right now, local health districts are spending $60,000 a day on coronavirus. The state has spent $3.5 million to date, and the Secretary of Health projects he will need $100 million in the two-year budget that ends in June of next year, the money to be used by the public health system and hospitals.
We are planning to ask for $100 million to be dedicated to this response in this year's budget. It would be used for both state and local public responses in regard to these efforts.
Now, we've heard from both Democratic and Republican lawmakers, and they say they will find the money that the governor is asking for. The first legislative action is expected to come in the next few days. We'll let you know what happens. Reporting live in Olympia, Essex Porter, KIRO 7 News.